first Pokémon games were first released in 1996. Then it only took a short amount of time before the franchise completely took over the world. But do you know which Pokémon were inspired by real-life characters? Wait until you see Pikachu. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you love Pokémon. Now join us as we take a look at 30 Pokémon characters in real life. Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is without a doubt one of the most recognizable Pokémon, along with some of the others we'll show you today. Did you know that Bulbasaur is the only unevolved dual-type starter Pokémon? The lifelike version of Bulbasaur was created by Joshua Dunlop, an artist from London. We love that this is actually a drawing, but it looks so real we can clearly see a creature like this roam our planet. Ivysaur. Bulbasaur evolves into Ivysaur, a much angrier-looking version from the original Pokémon. Ivysaur is pretty powerful, and it only grows stronger as he gets more exposed to the sun. The real-life alternative of the creature can't be found. However, Joshua Dunlop also created what Ivysaur would look like if it actually existed. Did you know that the flower it carries on its back is actually real? It's called Rafflesia arnoldi, and it's just as fascinating in real life. If you want to watch just one more video, the Premium is the platform where you should go. Get early access to videos from The Things, The Taco, The Trendy, The Richest, and many other great channels in one place with ad-free browsing. Click this link to sign up for the Premium and get ready to binge watch videos from your favorite channels. Venusaur. While we're at it, let's complete the evolution of Bulbasaur because all of its generations are just so fascinating. Not only does Venusaur look strong, but it also looks kinda scary. These creatures are so unique we weren't able to find an alternative. However, a realistic version was created by a DeviantArt user called Arvalis. This Pokemon weighs an impressive 220 pounds and is more than 6 feet tall. Its flower almost doubles its size, and it's definitely stronger than any of its previous generations. Shellos. Shellos is a sea slug water-type Pokemon. He's 1 foot tall and weighs only 13.9 pounds. The shape and the color of this cute-looking creature depend on its habitat and his food. Shellos is based on a real living creature called Lox chromadoris, which is usually a translucent white or bluish-white sea slug. Chromadoris are the most colorful sea creatures you'll ever find, and Shellos is no exception. Mewtwo. Did you know that Mewtwo is a result of DNA experiments? He shares the DNA of Mew, another favorite Pokemon. The mysterious and unbelievably powerful Mewtwo is a rare find but very popular among experienced Pokemon trainers. He's a psychic type of genetic Pokemon, measuring 6 feet and 7 inches in height and weighing 269 pounds. Check out this Sphinx cat that managed to strike the iconic Mewtwo pose. Dress it in light purple and you'll get Mewtwo, without its awesome abilities, of course. Drowsy. Don't be fooled by its innocent looks. This psychic hypnosis Pokemon is quite powerful. One of its abilities is to put its enemies to sleep and eat their dreams. Pretty impressive for a Pokemon that's not much taller than 3 feet. Drowsy looks like a Malon tapir, a mammal that resembles a pig with a long nose. While they certainly don't eat people's dreams, they do a fantastic job by using their noses to eat fruit, which, in our opinion, is much tastier than dreams. Clauncher. As you might know, Clauncher is a water-type Pokemon who can cause huge explosions of water that can shatter a rock. These shrimp-looking creatures fire water through their claws, and it's exactly how they catch prey. Clauncher measures 1 foot and 8 inches in height and weighs 18.3 pounds. The closest real-life animal to this water Pokemon is a snapping shrimp, who can knock its victim out cold by firing bubbles with its claws. Magikarp. Most Pokemon fans have a strong opinion on Magikarp, often labeling him as the most useless Pokemon ever. Magikarp is indeed a funny-looking fish with absolutely zero abilities to protect you in a Pokemon battle. But if you're a true Pokemon trainer, you'll know that Magikarp evolves into a powerful Gyarados. If you ever want to find Magikarp in real life, you'll have to hang around the sea depths of Central California or Alaska. Chatot. Isn't Chatot just the cutest Pokemon you've ever seen? These dual-type creatures are special music note Pokemon. Although they're birds, they're not exactly tiny. Chatot is almost 2 feet tall. They're extremely colorful and can mimic human speech with their tongue. Real-life Chatots are yellow-collared lovebirds, also known as masked lovebirds. They're equally as colorful as their Pokemon doppelgangers. Just like Chatots, these real-life birds can be quite noisy and talkative, but they're one of the most special pets you can have. Psyduck. Sure, they're duck Pokemon, but Psyduck is a 2 feet 7 inches tall platypus lookalike. Although he's a water Pokemon, Psyduck also has some pretty impressive psychic powers, which are triggered by his headaches. If you like Psyduck, you can find a real-life version of the Pokemon in Australia. Since the beginning of their existence, platypus have been known as one of the most extraordinary mammals, but we think Psyduck really takes the cake. Blastus. Everybody knows the adorable Squirtle, but unless you're a Pokemon trainer, we bet you don't know about Blastus. Blastus is more than 5 feet tall and it weighs an impressive 188.5 pounds. No real-life alternative alternative can really compare to Blastus, but we found a drawing that illustrates what Blastus would look like in real life. This illustration was made by Joshua Dunlop. After seeing this, we're kind of glad Blastus doesn't exist in real life. Dragonite. You would think the orange-looking Dragonite would evolve from Charmander, right? Well, it doesn't. This evolution belongs to Dratini. Dragonite is 7 feet tall and weighs an impressive 463 pounds, which makes him one of the heaviest Pokemon out there. While it's impossible to find Dragonite in real life, we've decided to find an alternative. This amazing illustration belongs to a DeviantArt artist, Avalis. He paints a pretty accurate and scary picture of what Dragonite would look like if he roamed the depths of our oceans. Beedrill. Beedrill is a vicious 3 feet tall creature that's able to attack using large venomous stingers on its forelegs and tail. This Pokemon is not the one to mess with, and he can easily tackle some of the most powerful opponents. Here's something that you didn't know. You can find Beedrill in real life. If you find yourself in Asia, look for an Asian giant hornet and stay away. These 2-inch bees do not only hold a strong sting, but they are also presented as a common Asian dish. Scyther. Scyther is a bug and flying type mantis Pokemon. These creatures measure up to 5 feet and weigh more than 120 pounds. Typically green, Scythers have an impressive, almost ninja-like speed, which makes it look like you can see more than one as it moves. To see a much smaller and less ninja-like Scyther, find a praying mantis. Did you know that they can turn their heads up to 180 degrees to scan their surroundings? Farfetch'd. This wild duck Pokemon sure looks normal and totally innocent, but he's actually quite powerful. The plant stick you see him holding is actually essential to his being, and he's rarely seen without it. These stalks are used to build nests. If you ever want to see Farfetch'd in live action, find the nearest pond or river and look for ducks. Speaking of, did you know that all ducks have waterproof feathers? They'll stay dry even if they dive underwater. Sandslash. Sandslash is a ground-type mouse Pokemon. It comes with claws and spikes on his back. He is more than 3 feet tall and weighs 65 pounds. Sandslash is known as the giant pangolin in real life. These mighty-looking creatures are endangered and can only be found in Asia and Africa. Pangolins don't have spikes as Sandslash does. They come with hard, plate-like scales instead. Meganium. This herb Pokemon might be 5'11 and weigh 221.6 pounds, but you can't help but admit he's still very cute. He features pink petals on his neck. These calm the aggressive feelings by producing a soothing fragrance. Meganium is pretty unique. He can also revive plants and flowers using his breath. How cool is that? While Meganium is a unique creature to the Pokemon franchise, we have found an impressively lifelike illustration by DeviantArt user Arvalis. Seeking. As the name might suggest, this goldfish Pokemon is the king of the sea. But don't think this is an ordinary goldfish from a fish tank. Seeking is 4 foot 3 inches tall and he weighs 86 pounds. The Seeking has a sharp horn which he uses to fight anyone who puts his family in danger. If you are looking to get a real-life Seeking, you need to find a Japanese Ryukyu goldfish, one of the most colorful and unique goldfish types. Ponyta. Ponyta is a unique fire horse Pokemon. These creatures are more than 3 feet tall and they weigh 66 pounds, which is very surprising as they look mighty in size. Ponyta is a powerful Pokemon that can trample anything in the way with heavy hooves. These creatures are world-class jumpers, much like its real-life alternatives. While actual ponies don't have impressive flames on their backs, they do have incredible stamina and impressive jumping skills. Caterpie. This worm Pokemon is probably one of the cutest Pokemon out there. While this creature pretty much looks like a caterpillar, it's able to use its antennas to release a horrible smell to protect itself. A real-life Caterpie looks nothing like a caterpillar. Check this out. This is the Eastern Tiger Swallowtail. Sure, it turns out to be a butterfly, but its original look is just as fascinating. It definitely deserves to have a place in the Pokédex. Victreebel. Victreebel is a dual-type flycatcher Pokemon. As a Pokemon, Victreebel is pretty powerful and can swallow a whole prey after luring them in with honey. The real-life version of Victreebel is a carnivorous plant known as the green pitcher plant. This plant can only be found in some parts of Alabama. Vileplume. Isn't that the cutest Pokemon ever? How could a cute-looking flower Pokemon be so powerful? Well, the large petals contain a lot of toxic pollen. Vileplume shakes its petals to release those toxins and take care of its opponents. A real-life Vileplume is an unusual plant called Rafflesia arnoldi that seems like it came directly from the Pokemon world. This impressive flower can measure 39 inches in length and weigh up to 22 pounds. Mudkip. We've shown you so many cute Pokemon, we can't decide which one is our favorite. Mudkip is 1 foot 4 inches tall and weighs 16.8 pounds. This cute water Pokemon looks like a mix between a fish and a reptile. Its fin is used as a radar, allowing it to sense movements in water and air. A real-life Mudkip looks like a Mexican salamander, an interesting dragon-looking fish with arms and legs. Look at its cute feathery gills. Azurill. Azurill is a dual-type polka dot Pokemon. It's not even an inch tall, but don't think that this mouse isn't powerful. This unique-looking creature has a tail with a ball that's almost as big as its body. Azurill uses its tail like a lasso to throw itself up to 33 feet away from its original destination. A Japanese artist called Totomame created what Azurill would look like if it were a real-life animal. Doesn't it look just the cutest? Honchkrow. Honchkrow is a big boss Pokemon. No, we're not just giving it that nickname. That's the name of its species. It is incredibly powerful and known to be merciless by nature. That's definitely not the Pokemon you want to mess with. Totomame, the artist, showed us what Honchkrow would look like as a real animal. We absolutely adore its hat-shaped head. One of Honchkrow's abilities is Super Luck, and we wish you all have amazing Super Luck for the rest of your week. Eevee. We've mentioned popular Pokemon like Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and we can't forget about Eevee. These squirrel-looking creatures can evolve into many different Pokemon depending on the location they're at in time of its evolution. Each of them comes with a unique set of abilities which makes Eevee one of the most desirable Pokemon out there. Here's a real-life version of Eevee. It's not a squirrel, it's a Venezuelan poodle moth. These moths come with a lot of fur, but they're so rare we don't know whether or not they're as cuddly as Eevee. Metapod. Do you remember Magikarp, the world's most useless Pokemon? It's not the only one on the list of terrible abilities. Metapod, the green-looking creature, is known for appearing often but doing absolutely nothing when it comes to Pokemon battles. He's 2 foot 4 inches tall and weighs 21.8 pounds. It evolves from Caterpie and forms into Butterfree. Check out this green butterfly looking like a real-life Metapod. Poliwag. Poliwag is a tadpole Pokemon with an interesting-looking swirl on its stomach. Wait until you hear what the swirl actually represents. Poliwag comes with legs, but unfortunately they're too short, so it usually moves around by swimming in the water. Its skin is so thin, he has fully visible internal organs. Believe it or not, there's a real-life version of Poliwag out there. It's called a translucent tadpole, and its transparent skin clearly shows off its intestines. Pikachu. Let's talk about the most recognizable Pokemon out there. Everyone knows Pikachu. This creature is popular even with people who aren't actual Pokemon fans. In fact, it's so popular it even has a protein named after it. Pikachu is a mouse Pokemon that weighs only about 13.2 pounds. It discharges energy when it's in danger and uses its tail to monitor surroundings. This unique creature cannot be found in real life, but Joshua Dunlap illustrated a perfect version of what he'd look like as a regular animal in our world. Charmander. Don't worry, we're not done yet. Charmander is also one of the most recognized Pokemon out there. How can you miss this orange-colored, happy-looking dinosaur with fire at the end of his tail? A DeviantArt user called Symphon8 added fire to this already impressive lizard and turned it into a real-life Charmander. Who wouldn't want to pet a Charmander? Which Pokemon is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. For more exciting videos, check out 10 Despicable Me characters in real life. See you next time!